Oh wait, yes, I do have a question.
Okay, what's up? How can I help you out?
So I just have one question. I would really like to, I did not grow up in the business side of my family, but I would definitely like to get started wholesaling. I'm 17, and do you have any tips? Like, what would you do differently at 17?
Yeah, I mean, I started wholesaling at 17.
Yeah.
So one thing I'd tell you is I would probably not do anything different because it led to the person I am today.
Right. Yeah.
And so there's the one thing at 17 you have to figure out, and this is something that I want you to really understand, take this to heart, that you don't have to figure everything out. I want you to understand that. That's probably gonna be the number one thing overwhelming you. That's the one other thing that overwhelmed me. I have to know everything and do everything and be the person to become successful in this year or it's over, right? Don't put that pressure on your shoulders, because I put those pressures on my shoulders. That was probably one thing I would change. You're gonna figure it out. I'm still learning this business to this day.
Yeah.
All right. Now I got a lot of it figured out,
Right.
but it was through the struggles and just going through it every single day that I just learned a little better at it.
Okay.
And so that's the first thing I would probably tell you. What market are you in?
This my first week seeing you, so I'm just trying to figure it out, just little by little. I don't want to go.
Area in the United States do you live?
Wyoming.
Wyoming? Okay. Southwest, southeast?
Northeast.
Okay. So probably not a lot of people living there then, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So you're probably gonna do virtual wholesaling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you hopping on here because this is gonna fast track a lot of your stuff. Most people gotta pay probably $4,000 to talk to someone, that's making the amount of money I'm in wholesaling to get it done. But I'm just trying to get you on the best path. So you're 17 right now. Are you in high school, college?
High school.
High school. Okay. So let's focus on that first, right? So
Yeah.
So the second part, you're in high school. Okay. There's a big debate out here that should I go to college? Should I do high school? Should I quit everything and do wholesaling? I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not the person that's going to tell you that you should drop everything out just to do wholesaling, because I see what I do, not what I say. I got a college degree at 19. Why wholesaling full time? I did high school. I did college. So I did all those things. All right. I'm not the guy to tell you to drop out. And I think it'd be reckless for me to say that to just everyone out here. It's for the right person, but you can definitely do both. Like I said before, you don't have to figure it all out.
Yeah.
You definitely don't. So let's focus on high school and just start learning wholesaling and just get stuff done. And I think slowly but surely you start putting the work in. At 17, you can make 100K. I mean, I made 100K.
Yeah.
At 17, it was a year because I was started not at 17, but midway through it. So focus on high school first and then wholesale in the spare time while you're doing it, and just get your knowledge up, taking action. I think you do well.
All right. Thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right. So the thing you're probably going to be focused on next, which I want you to do, is go through freewholesaling.com.
Yeah.
Are you on there?
Yeah, I am.
Go through there. The next step that you're going to probably have to make a decision on is where you're going to do virtual wholesaling.
Yeah.
So just understand that's your next question, and we'll focus on that next week. All right?
All right. Thank you so much.
Go after it. Appreciate it, Jasmine. All right. 17. I love it. It's like looking in a mirror when I was 17 years old myself. I remember that. Guys, I felt like I had to get the world on my shoulder. I was so stinking stressed. I saw my life. So I kind of said, I looked at my life when I was 17 in a mirror there. When I was 17, I did the same exact thing, but I looked at my 40-year-old self in a mirror, and it was like, what is it? The Christmas Carol? So I looked at myself, right here, the little name tag right here, where I was a bag boy. I'm a grocery store manager making 80K a year, working 60, 70 hours a week. Is that something that I deserve to be? Is that the person that I wanted to be? Is that the man that I thought I was destined to be in my life? And I had a hard look at myself and really decide, is that something I want to do? Is that something I didn't want to do? And I said, heck no, that's not the life that I think I want. I want to travel the world. I want to make a ton of money. I want to leave a big impact on my life, and I want to give back. And so me being a bag boy, me being a grocery store manager at 40, and all the stress of that, I didn't think it was worth it. And I had one really big impact. And I hope all the 16, 15-year-olds watching this think about this. The amount of stress, anxiety, work, pressure, it is honestly the same as if I just decided to be a grocery store manager at a regular 9-to-5 job. The pressures and the stresses are different, but what I could tell you is at the end of the day, they equal out, because the stress of not having the money I have would have equated some of the stress I had of starting out with nothing. The stresses equate to each other. And so it's the same amount of work. And that's really the way you got to look at it. So the way I mentally look at it, because I'm a very visual learner, is if I'm going to burn 500 calories, but I got to travel somewhere, burning 500 calories on a bike to travel would probably get me, 15 miles, 500 calories running is going to give me 3 miles. It's like, it's the same work, but if I go on the bike, I'm just going to go so much further. And so that's the way I look at it. And so I could tell every young person watching this, and I just have my thoughts if I can go back to 17. I should make a whole video on this, but like at 17, at 16, at 15, at 14, at 18, heck, at 23, my age right now, this is the time to take risks. This is the time to go all in on yourself. This is the time to start that crazy thing you have in your mind. Because when you're 34, 35, and you're married, you got kids, you got responsibilities, you got a roof. Oh, I got insurance payments. I got all these crazy stuff. I got car payments. I got house payments. I got mortgage payments, rent, utilities, all this stupid stuff that I got to deal with today now that I didn't have 17, right? Living at home. Those were the days. Heck, I gotta think of what I gotta make for food during the day. Like it's like so much different when I was 17. Before all those stresses happen to you, it's do it then. Because if you fail at 17, 18, you just tried something and it didn't work out. No one's gonna care. No one's gonna judge. You're 18. Nobody cares, right? It's all like it doesn't matter. And that's pretty cool. But when you start doing that when you're 40, 50, and you got kids and a job and a dog to take care of, right? Like, and you fail, you could financially destroy more than one person. When I was 17, nobody looked up to me financially. Nobody needed me to survive for them to eat. Nobody, okay? But when I'm 40, 50, I'm probably gonna have a lot of that. So if I failed at when I was 40 or 50 at this crazy thing, it's a lot more pressure on me to succeed. It's a lot more stress. There's a lot more bad stuff that could happen. So when you're that young, go after the risk. I'm telling you, it was worth it. Could I make the same risks I did when I was 40, 50? Maybe not. And so this is why I'm telling you why you're young, do it. I promise you that the pros are infinite and the cons are basically nothing. So do wholesaling legit, do it real, put your all into it. And if you are a teenager watching this right now, I promise everybody, put your all into it. And this is the way I always did. And this is always the way I looked at wholesaling when I was 19 years old too, when I was cold calling like crazy. When I put my head to the pillow at night, I knew I put everything in. I cold called 5 hours. I followed up. I networked, I had cash buyers, everything. When I went to bed, I could sit down and say, you know what? I did everything I possibly could today to live my dream out. And if I failed cold calling 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight, and I quit or gave up, fizzled out, I didn't get a real job, whatever it was, I could legit go back as a 50-year-old manager and say, you know what? I did everything I could to become a successful wholesaler. It didn't work out. Here's the kicker for everybody watching this. If you consistently put in the work, there's basically a 0% shot you don't become successful.